continuity. That's what appears to be the theme of Modi 3.0, that he seems to indicate that even though I have a lesser mandate, I am going to keep my team the same. If you look at some of the major ministries, not much of change. I'm going to just talk about a few ministries, and then I'm going to play at the end all the ministers who are there, so you get a chance to take a look at it. And I'm going to talk about the implications of this approach, the pros and the cons. So here we go. What is the thing that is new about this portfolio? Not much. In fact, surprisingly, very little has changed. Modi continues to be holding Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances, Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy. This has been there for a long time. Department of Space, all important policy issues, and all other portfolios not allocated. So it's like catch-all. It also tells you that, again, for the third term, it is going to be the Prime Minister's office that is going to be running things. And I think the inputs of ministers stands for very little. So what is Rajnath Singh getting? The same defense ministry. The first term, he was the home minister. From the second term on, he has been the defense minister. Amit Shah, home and Minister of Cooperation. He got the second one, I think, sometime during the second term. I'm not 100% sure. I think there may have been a readjustment of some sort. It could be also from the beginning. It doesn't really matter. But what do you expect when the same person occupies the office again? I'll come to that in just one moment. Nitin Gadkari, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. J.P. Nadda, Minister of Health and Family Welfare and Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers. He was the Minister of Health before he became the president of the party. Now, that post becomes vacant. We'll have to wait and see who gets that post. And I'm very, very curious who that's going to be, because believe it or not, the president of the party is the one who actually moots all the candidates' strategy for each of the assembly elections, because now the next 4 years will be all fought based on what election, where, which state, what are the issues, how do we overcome all our problems, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be a very critical post. So we'll have to wait and see who that is. Nirmala Sitharaman, Minister of Finance and Minister of Corporate Affairs. I'll come to some of these posts, like I said, later. Dr. S. Jaishankar retains the Minister of External Affairs. New one, Shivraj Singh Chauhan gets Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and Minister of Rural Development. He can make a mark in this, rural development, because that's what is needed to create jobs. Well, we'll wait and see how that goes. Manohar Lal Khattar, ex-Chief Minister of Haryana, now gets Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs, and he's also the Minister of Power. Power has a very important connotation here, because how India gets its power. For example, India should be using more nuclear energy and less coal-fired plants, because coal is very polluting. We have to wait and see if there is going to be a change in focus. And like, for example, will the Modi administration be able to bend the required arms to get the Gudangulam nuclear reactors functioning again? It's a must-have. It is not DMK's public property to stop that, because the national grid benefits from nuclear power energy, and it has to be on the coast for the water consumption reasons. Also, H.D. Kumaraswamy, this is a JDS person, Minister of Heavy Industries and Minister of Steel. And Piyush Goyal continues to have Commerce and Industry. That's an important position. Dharmendra Pradhan, Minister of Education. Jitan Ram Manjhi, MSME Minister. This is a new post. MSME, I thought, was with Nitin Gadkari before. Jitan Ram gets that. Prahlad Joshi, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Minister of New and Renewable Energy. Again, a critical post. We'll have to wait and see how he shines in this post. Giriraj Singh, Minister of Textiles. You can see that some people have been omitted. Smriti Irani or Rajiv Chandrasekhar. And I'll come to that in just one moment. Ashwini Vaishnaw, Minister of Railways, Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. He now has risen to cabinet rank. He's a blue-eyed boy of Modi. It was believed that he might become the finance minister, but that did not happen. But he does have I&B and the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. I hope he uses his technical skills to try and regulate what is happening by way of bad content in not only media, publishing, as well as social media. How he does this, in fact, he should essentially, what I would do is to demand that apps like WhatsApp or Twitter or Facebook or Telegram or 4chan, many more, that if somebody is being shadow banned or banned for whatever reason, that they be told why they are being done that. Unless you do that, people will not improve. See, what happens is if you just go ahead and ban and not give any reasons, they'll morph into a new channel. They'll start drawing, they'll have other ways to let it be known that this is their new handle, and things will continue to go on. Instead, if you tell them that this is what is objectionable, I think Meta does it to some extent, and also with an appeal process. I think YouTube does that excellently as a matter of fact, because I have seen some of their determinations overturned when he gave them the explanation as to why it was. So these are all good things. I hope something like that happens rather than wholesale banning a channel. India has a large population, large user base for all these apps. Hopefully, India can be the one taking the lead here and telling all these companies, this is how you should be running this thing so that everybody benefits. 𝗣𝗚𝗖𝙥 𝗍𝘍 was in Minister of Civil Aviation. He gets communications and Minister of Development of Northeastern Region. This is a newly created post, I think. 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝘆 𝗢𝘂𝘁𝘁, Minister of Culture and Minister of Tourism. Tourism, you can do wonders. We have to wait and see if that happens. Kiren Rijiju, Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Ministry of Minority Affairs. Mansukh Mandavia, Minister of Labor and Employment and Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports. I'm going to stop here. You know what is the speciality of Mr. Mandavia? Again, I'm just taking one example to make a point here. His background is agriculture. And I don't know how a person who is very proficient in agriculture would be able to make his mark in youth affairs and sports. And this kind of dichotomy, a conflict or a contradiction between somebody's skill set and the ministry that they are carrying comes through the entire government. What does that tell you? That tells you that perhaps this government is going to be continued to run from the Prime Minister's office using a bunch of bureaucrats and not especially depending on the ministers themselves to give the guidance and direction. Some are hard charging. They will grab the ministry and do things the way they want. But those are few and far between. So that's where I have a problem with this, because this is how it has been for 10 years. And those of us who have been screaming from every rooftop that some things are broken, that will not be addressed. Especially, I'm very disappointed about the finance portfolio. Finance portfolio, to me, it needed somebody who understood finance. For all the flaws in the American political system, notice who becomes the Secretary of Treasury. It's almost always from the Wall Street. In fact, almost always from one organization called Goldman Sachs. The reason for this is that they are the ones who are the most experienced in dealing with finance, macroeconomics, whether you need to do Keynesian economics or some other economics, Volcker's principles, all these things are all weighed in. And they are considered the best and the brightest in their business, and they are the ones who run the finance. Look at India. Show me one finance minister who was really a good appointment. Maybe Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh. But the question there is, was it him who was doing it, or was it somebody else telling him, do this, do this, do this? Because I suspect that by the time Dr. Manmohan Singh became the finance minister, India's fiscal situation was so bad that it was actually IMF which was telling the Narasimha Rao government, do this, do this, do this. And Dr. Manmohan Singh was the face of that, implementing it, facing it in the parliament, taking all the blows and barbs and what have you. So somehow, India never misses a chance to miss a chance. This was a golden opportunity for India to bring in somebody who's like a career finance professional, even if it was from the Wall Street, to bring them in and let them run India. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and that means that the long-term growth prospects, for example, jobs, I really have my doubts on how this government is going to take it forward and create the much needed jobs. The difficult situation, why India continues to ignore the critical finance ministry is something that I just will not be able to fathom. And to me, it doesn't matter whether it's BJP or Congress, both continue to make mistakes in this critical area. I really don't know how much of an idea the Modi government has in terms of what are the two levers that they want to do. They want to be Basel 3.0 compliant, fine. But they also need to be able to move the two or control the two levers to increase or decrease growth. Which are those? The monetary policy and the fiscal policy. You think the RBI has any independence in setting the monetary policy? Ask yourself this question. If they don't have it, then why do you need an RBI governor? Why don't you just appoint one of the secretaries to just run the central bank? Let it be completely run from Delhi. Why does it have to sit in Mumbai? Because all these things matter. The reason it is in Mumbai is because it is supposed to be closer to the markets. That's where most of the big companies of India are headquartered, right? But if you just go and take one generalist bureaucrat and make that person the governor, what kind of a monetary policy will that person give? I'm sure you're going to, flame me with, oh, he was the best RBI governor we ever had. I'm sorry, I beg to differ. Another thing that's a white lie is that Indian banks are doing better now than what they did before. The non-performing assets have been reclassified and they have been swept under the carpet. Many of the smaller, less powerful, less strong banks have been integrated into more stable banks. Like, for example, SBI has taken on a bunch of smaller banks. But what it means is the bad loans also come there. What was essentially a good portfolio now gets corrupted with bad portfolio. I mean, if somebody wants to challenge me on all these things, please reach out to me. You all know how to contact me. And we will talk about it. I have a feeling that it's no longer possible for India to say that, oh, we will be poor friendly. They were already poor friendly. 80 crore families are getting free food distribution. And yet they went and voted for this 1 lakh gimmick. Why is it that you miss the chance to set things right and afterwards you play again and again you go back to the same socialism model? Has the Modi government been able to cancel the Manrega project? No. Now this new thing about 80 crore families getting free food grains, will they be able to turn the clock back and stop that? No. Will they be able to stop illegal immigration? I have my doubts. Why would they not come in? Because they're getting free food. They don't even have to work, but they'll come in, they'll get their voter card and they'll go and vote against you. Come on, why are you trying to stick it to yourself? This is something that I have to get it off of my chest. I don't know what exactly is the thinking. Was it important to convey the message that things are the same? God damn it, things are not the same. Then why do you want to make this pretense? That's all I have to say. Please feel free to comment on this. This is not exactly what you might have thought. I'm not going to sing praises. Where change is needed, period. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Now I will give you the entire list of ministers. It's going to be a small video. Please do watch it till the end. Namaskar.